Hi everyone! Welcome back to my channel, Ticking Together. In today's video, I'm going to be telling you guys 20 things you may or may not know about Tourette syndrome. So let's just get right into it. The first thing which I'm going to tell you guys is something you most likely already know if you clicked on this video, but I'm just going to reiterate it just to start off this video. What is Tourette syndrome? Tourette's is a neurological disorder that causes individuals to make involuntary movements or sounds known as tics. Number 2 is, along with Tourette syndrome can come a variety of other disorders. These are called comorbid disorders or co-occurring disorders. These can be anything from ADHD to anxiety and depression to OCD to impulse controls. Honestly, the list goes on. Number 3 is that there can be different categories of Tourette syndrome. There can be pure Tourette's, meaning that the individual has no comorbid disorders alongside their Tourette's, or there can be Tourette's plus, meaning that the individual has at least one comorbid disorder with their tics. Over 80% of Tourette's patients have Tourette's plus. I do too. Alongside my Tourette's, I have clinically diagnosed anxiety and depression, OCD, and impulse controls. Number 4 is that there are different types of tics that people with Tourette's will have. There can be motor tics, vocal tics, simple tics, or complex tics. Some types of tics have their own names and classifications. These are COPROLALIA, which is the repetition of obscene words or swear words, COPROXIA, which is the repetition of obscene gestures, ECHOLALIA, repetition of another person's words, ECHOPRAXIA, which is the repetition of another person's gestures. There's also PALALALIA, which is the repetition of one's own words, and PALAPRAXIA, which is the repetition of one's own movements. And there are many other tics with their own names as well. The next fact is that there are different ways to classify motor tics in Tourette's patients. These are called clonic tics, dystonic tics, and tonic tics. Clonic tics are rapid and brief, so for example, eye blinking. Dystonic tics are slower, and for an example is kind of like my back tics. It's a movement like a twist of the body or joint. And tonic tics involve tensing and moving your muscles. The next fact is that people with Tourette's can sometimes outgrow their tics when they reach adulthood, but approximately 10 to 15% of people with Tourette syndrome do have debilitating tics into adulthood. There are many other tic disorders besides Tourette syndrome, and in order to be diagnosed with Tourette's, you have to have at least 2 motor tics and 1 vocal tic for over a year before you can be diagnosed with Tourette syndrome. Tics tend to worsen when individuals are under stress. It's important that when you're with someone with Tourette syndrome to not mention their tics to them all the time, because when you mention it and when they think about their tics, they end up doing them a lot more, which basically defeats the purpose of mentioning it because it is a trigger for more tics. Tourette's is not a joke. People can't control their tics a lot of the time, but when they can suppress them, they will eventually have to come out. About 1 in 100 children have been diagnosed with Tourette syndrome, so it's not as rare as people think. In early American studies, people with Tourette syndrome and tics were seen as possibly being possessed by the devil, practicing witchcraft or exorcism. This was obviously proven false, but an interesting fact nonetheless. Tourette syndrome does not affect the intelligence of a person, although this was previously studied by early Orthodox practitioners. When people hold in their tics, it takes a lot to focus on holding in that tic, and they'll end up often missing important things around them, such as words from a teacher or boss, due to focusing on not ticking. Tourette's affects males 3 to 4 times more than it does females. Dr. Landon Carter Gray of America in the late 19th century suggested a new name for tics, called palmus, which was his own version of a Greek-derived word used by Aristotle to describe the palpitation or twitching of the heart. He wanted the word palmus to be used in America instead of the word tic because tic had meaning in the French language while not having meaning in the English language. And this was because there was far more research in Europe surrounding Tourette's than there was in early America. The second last fact in this video is that tics can be painful. I know you haven't seen me ticking in this video very much, but that is because I am redirecting them and suppressing them. But my tics can definitely be painful after a long day of just moving constantly and jerking my back in random ways. It really does hurt, and so that's something that people should be aware of. And the final fact in this video is that people with Tourette's are the same as everyone else, except for the fact we tick like clocks. Thank you for watching my 20 things you may or may not have known about Tourette's video. I really hope you learned something and I really hope that you enjoyed it. If you did like this video, I would love it if you would give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below saying hi or telling me what you want to see in future videos, and subscribe to my channel. That would be awesome. Providing education and raising awareness is what my channel is about, and so it would mean the world to me if you would share this video with whoever you think might want to see it, because getting the information out there will eventually break the stigma. Thank you. Bye.